David Anderson and Neil Gathercole on the front row. Looking for a start this time. All I can see is Amber looking for a green. And we haven't got one. A capacity field again. And this is going to be a great... Oh, look, they've messed it up even on the roll around. Okay, waiting for the dust to clear. Card number 76, Darren Clee. And card number 92, Tim Falcon. David Anderson and Neil Gathercole on the front row, looking for a light, looking for a start. Not on. Third roll around. Somebody's out of position. Like one of the Riddell boys, I think it's Glenn Riddell, was out of position there. Card number 4, Brother Stephen back there in 15. Rolling around nicely now, and we're looking for a start as they come round this time with David Anderson and Neil Gathercole on the front row, green and away and racing, and thank you, Daniel. And round they go, and look at a big charge down the corner. Oh, we just hope that they keep it up there. Oh, they've messed it up, and we've got a couple of carts out of this one straight away. Well, what a pity. Looked good for a start, but okay, fellas, you can put them away and you can retire. All right, it is David Anderson out in front from card number 76, Darren Clee. Coming around there, Neil Gathercole getting with them. Now, they've made a bit of a break, these guys, now, and they've got a heck of a lot of racing to do yet. And coming around there, and it's going to be very, very good. It's going to be close, and I could forecast the lead will swap and change a few times out here, and not as far as David Anderson's concerned, because he wants to stay out in front all the way round. Darren Clee and behind him, then Neil Gathercole in car number 10, and they've got a bit of a break out there as the rest of the field starts stringing out behind them one after the other as they go down through Wakefield Corner. Coming around now, we wait for them to come up into the chicane. It's David Anderson, Darren Clee and Neil Gathercole back to car number 33, being driven by Kenton Ferguson from Geelong. Well, if Kenton Ferguson can get up there with them, he'll put the cat amongst the pigeons as well. Then back to Tim Falcon in car number 92. All right, out in front of it is David Anderson again, and he's followed up by Darren Clee and Neil Gathercole, and they're just waiting. They'll get a bit more heat generated in these tyres, those Maxxis tyres that they're running. And down the bottom end of the circuit they go, and coming around through the King and down to Wakefield Corner. Looking at David Anderson there, then back to Darren Clee. Neil Gathercole's got to stick on their number plates as they come up there, and they've made the break as to stay away from the rest of the field, which is being led along by Kenton Ferguson from the Geelong Club. Down they go, and Kenton Ferguson's just lost his place to Tim Falcon. And up the top end of the circuit they come, and it's David Anderson coming down now from Darren Clee and Neil Gathercole tucking out of the breeze. And these blokes still getting a little bit of a break away from the rest of the field. But by June, they're starting to close up on them quickly now. There's a bit of a seesaw pattern happening. The front three had a bit of a break out there. Now the whole pack coming up and joining on their heels as they go through Wakefield Corner. Coming around now, and it's still David Anderson, Darren Clee, Neil Gathercole. They're back to Tim Falcon in car number 92. Round they go, and some of the places changing here as they swap and change. Coming around through the loop there. A lot of cars struck out one behind each other. Okay, at the top end of the circuit, down into the main straight away. Again they go. And it is still David Anderson from Darren Clee making the move on him, but can't do it. Then back to Neil Gathercole. I think Neil Gathercole quite content to sit there for a little bit of time as long as they don't get a break away from him. They're down to Wakefield Corner now, and the leader is David Anderson, Darren Clee, Neil Gathercole. They're the three that have made the break away from the pack as they come up through the chicane. Coming around now, and they are running nose to tail. Neil Gathercole goes out wide, looking for a pass there. Can't do it. David Anderson, Darren Clee, and Neil Gathercole trying to suss out Darren Clee as they head up the infield to the pit corner. And Gathercole on the outside looking to reel them in. But it's David Anderson, Darren Clee, Neil Gathercole looking for the outside pass, moves over to the inside. And Darren Clee trying the inside pass as well. Down the bottom end of the main straight they go, and it's David Anderson. Darren Clee and Neil Gathercole. They're coming round through Wakefield Corner, and we'll wait for them to come up to the chicane, and John Cobby will take over the commentary from here.
Thank you, John. David Anderson in cart number 22, nose to tail there with Darren Clee in the 76 entry. Neil Gathercole with cart number 10. Now moving up into second spot, the Mildura Flyer for Omega Racing Karts Australia, moving up one position, but Darren Clee now attacking again. Back behind them we see cart number 33, Kenton Ferguson from the Geelong Karting Club of Victoria. He's moved up nicely. We look for Ian Vickers. He's back somewhere in about 9th position, but 1, 2 and 3 are out. But they are beginning to reel them in, as John Gray touched upon about 5 minutes ago. They are beginning to close in on them. The second bunch working very hard indeed and bringing themselves closer to the backside of the leading trio. They break hard. Our leader pitches it into the first half of the James Contract Supplies corner. David Anderson in 22, Darren Clee in 76, the 10 of Neil Gathercole. Back behind them, still the 33 of Kenton Ferguson. They're being chased by the 4 of Glenn Riddell, and he's coming under a fair amount of pressure as well. One of the DAP pilots in there doing a pretty good job. That's Timbo Kett in cart number 92 after not so good a start. They fade in through the Bob Moran turn. Again, Neil Gathercole getting back up to second position. We see a big move, and Darren Clee relegated to 4th. Big move, this one, coming back in between the chicane. But he fights back at him, got back as well on the exit to the turn. Kenton Ferguson from Victoria keeps it in on the inside of Darren Clee, who sensibly retakes him. Ferguson up against Clee for position number 3 in the order. We look back behind them, the 4 of Glenn Riddell in there. Gathercole challenging. 3 drivers out of commission, cart number 59. Craig Arnett, Ian Vickers in 23, and Matthew Robertson, cart number 18, hasn't moved, sitting there in disgust more than anything. But it's back to the front end of the field. David Anderson in 22, the itch out in front. Dot's little boy doing the job by about a length over our second place man in Neil Gathercole from Mildura. Campaigning the Omega Racing Karts entry. Enter the chicane, here comes these 2 drivers. They've got about 5 to 7 metres over cart number 33 in Kenton Ferguson. Back behind them is Darren Clee in cart number 76. Lots of racing going on throughout this pack. Just about everywhere you look, there's somebody dicing, swapping and chopping positions. Cart number 4, Glenn Riddell there in 5th position. Bo Kett in behind him. And one of the competitor, it's the Arrow Machine currently there. Rounding out the top 7 as we look towards Darren Clee and Kenton Ferguson continuing to battle it out for the 3rd spot. They'll round Wakefield Corner and they'll be back towards the chicane, and we'll give you the entire order if we can. David Itchy Anderson, Neil Gathercole, Kenton Ferguson, Darren Clee, Glenn Riddell, Timbo Kett. 82 is next. Brad Watkins, 69 is Adam Gilliard. Back behind Adam is cart number 70. Nigel Hervey, he's being chased by cart number 28. Jason Stockman. I've got through the top 10 or so for you. The first group and the second group is being closed out by Stockman as our leading bunch cruise down towards the Bob Moran turn. The left-hander, and it's still David Anderson out in front, the spot that he loves to be. But check out the racing back behind them. It's on for young and old around Wakefield Corner. This event really coming to life now. It's been pretty exciting thus far, but one gets the feeling that the best is yet to come. We've still got over 10 laps remaining, about 12 or so laps remain in this one. Through the first half of the James Contract turn, David Anderson, Neil Gathercole, back behind them. We see the other competitors coming on strongly, the likes of Kenton Ferguson and Glenn Riddell. That's your top 4. They're now out by about 4 kart lengths on Darren Clee. 12 to go.
By gee, it is hotting up there. It's David Stevenson out there from David Anderson, I should say, from Neil Gathercole, Kenton Ferguson, Glenn Riddell, and the other 3 are starting to close up on them. And look at the move out there. Kenton Ferguson gets under Neil Gathercole on Wakefield Corner. And we'll wait for them to come up through the chicane, and it's David Anderson from Glenn Riddell. Then back to Kenton Ferguson, then Neil Gathercole. Oh, and it's going to swap and chase this race. There's no doubt about it. Have a look at them giving each other a bit of a serve out there as they come around. And around they go, one after the other. But they're looking, David Anderson's getting a break out there. David Anderson getting a little break that he needs, and he's clearing out from them. Down along the main straight away they go. And having a look at them, Kenton Ferguson holding in second spot, Glenn Riddell in fourth, Neil Cole fifth there, and a big move coming out of this bottom corner. Around they go, and it's still David Anderson out in front, and they have to pedal like crazy to catch up with them there. It's Kenton Ferguson in second spot. That's the little fella from Geelong, and he comes around now, and it's David Anderson out in front, Kenton Ferguson, Glenn Riddell from Northern Suburbs, Neil Cole from Mildura. Up there they go, car number 76 getting in the act as well as Darren Clee. And round they go. Neil Cole is up in the second spot now. Did a swoop on the corner and grabbed them. Neil Cole's got to really stoke this thing up now as he gets up to the top corner and makes the run down into the main straight. David Anderson got a handy lead out there. Neil Cole second in the pack, and it's like Formula V racing. They're swapping and changing as they come down to the bottom into the braking area. Around they go, the field packing up behind Neil Cole. David Anderson out there in front, and there's a couple of carts off the corner. Looks like Stephen Riddell has gone off there or something like that. No, it's not Steve Riddell. It is car number 69. And young Daniel giving Adam Gillett a bit of a hurry up there as they go through. Okay, and there's still David Anderson out in front from Neil Cole, then back to Glenn Riddell. And the infield, they go up to the top end of the circuit. We've had a retirement out there, and it's David Anderson out in front. And then back to Neil Cole. Neil Cole's got a bit of the break as they swap and change places down along the main straight. Have a look at this coming down there. And the two Riddell boys, it isn't or not, I'm not sure. I can't pick up the numbers, but I know it's Glenn Riddell back there in third spot. David Anderson way out in front. Neil Cole has to really get this cart moving to pick him up as they come around up through the chicane now. It's David Anderson in 22, Neil Cole in 10, Glenn Riddell in 5, car number 76, Darren Clee, Adam Gillett in car number 69, as they go around there, and Kenton Ferguson in car number 33. Up in the infield they go, and it's still David Anderson around there as they come past the pit corner and down into the main straight away again. It's Anderson out in front from Neil Cole. They've given him a heck of a lot of start. Glenn Riddell being a bit of a problem to Neil Cole as they close up on the brakes. Heading down towards Wakefield corner they go, and it's still David Anderson out in front, and Neil Cole really getting the thing tweaked up. Glenn Riddell putting the pressure on Neil as they come up through the chicane now and making the run up into the left-hander. Round they go. Glenn Riddell looking for the move on Neil Cole. They're side by side through the corner. And around they go once again, and Neil Cole relegated back to third spot. Up the infield they go, and Neil Cole challenging back to Glenn Riddell as they go up round pit corner. Meanwhile, David Anderson, they're not making any impression on him as they come down along the main straight, and Glenn Riddell sprinting down there, Neil Cole going with him as they come into the braking area. Around they go once again, and it's still David Anderson out in front. Now Glenn Riddell might be moving him along a little bit as they get to Wakefield corner. It's David Anderson coming up now. We're looking for him to come through into the chicane. It's David Anderson from Glenn Riddell. Then back to Neil Cole. 76 is Darren Clee. Car number 69, Adam Gillett. And car number 33 is Kenton Ferguson. Round they go. And still not making an impression on David Anderson as they swing back down into the main straight away. As they come down, Glenn Riddell and Neil Cole still battling away. And the race is still on for the minor placings, Sean.
Thank you very much, Jono. 17 laps now complete, 5 laps remaining as our leader heads down towards Wakefield corner. The real action is for 2, 3, 4 and 5. They exit that particular point on the track. Another competitor back in 6th, only about 5 to 7 metres in arrears. Glenn Riddell, Neil Cole looking on the inside, but no room there. We said the 69 of Adam Gillett. Darren Clee in cart number 76. Disappointingly for him, back in 5th spot, it's the 33 cart of Kenton Ferguson for Norris Plant Hire from Geelong Karting Club of Victoria, trying to fight back through the field after just about losing the plot down in turn number 1 a few laps back. They go hard at it once again. Darren Clee picking off 1 spot, has gone past Adam Gillett in cart number 69. That moves him up to 4th spot. Neil Cole is going to be the next driver that he'll focus on, and after that it will be Glenn Riddell in cart number 4. That is if he can get past the number 10 Omega being driven by Cole. He gives Riddell something to go on with, but no, Glenn holds sway for the North Suburbs Club. Out of the James Contract Supplies, right-handed turn they go. They head towards the Channel 10 Bridgestone sweeper. Around they come, the foot now flat to the boards on the main stretch. We've got about 3 laps remaining. Cole looks wide on Riddell as they approach the left-handed corner. He's still there in position number 4, back behind them, rounding out the 5. Here's Gilliard, Adam Gilliard in cart number 69 for Pro Karting. His Arrow looking reasonably good, rounding out the top 5. Our leader coming through again, we haven't forgotten about him. He's barnstormed his way around this circuit, doing it with a great deal of precision. Change for third, it's Darren Fleer, getting by the likes of Glenn Riddell. For a moment, Adam Gilliard got by him as well. But now Gilliard has been relegated back to fifth. Riddell runs fourth. Darren Fleer up into third spot. Neil Gathercole is second. But I don't think anybody's going to catch David Itchy Anderson. He's demoralising them at the moment. He's got a huge lead. He's extended it out to about 30-odd metres now. In national competition, when you get a break like that, really very tough to run them down. Also evenly matched, but David Anderson has worked hard. He's led this one from the very outset, and he will not want to let it go. He'll fancy running the green and gold for the next 12 months, becoming the national champion for Senior National Light. It's proudly sponsored by Drew Price Engineering, this category. Our leader works the Caltex and Bridgestone sweeper past the pit area. The last lap board coming out. One remaining for David Itchy Anderson. Running for the Southern Go-Kart Club. A very popular win this one will be. Neil Gathercole from Mildura for Omega Racing Karts Australia is there in second. Darren Quee in kart number 76 rounds out your top 3. Back behind them it's Adam Gilliard from Glen Riddell. That's your top 5. Kart 33, Kenson Ferguson for Norris Blantyre for the Go-Kart Club. Geelong Kart Club of Victoria, I should say, rounds out your top 7, and just up ahead of him is the 28 of Jason Stockman. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Don is going to be very happy with this. His dad will be pleased as well. It's popular in the pit stand. Come on, let's hear it for David Itchy Anderson, new national champion for the Senior National Lights. He's a South Aussie campaigner. Second spot going to Neil Gathercole in kart number 10. Third going to South Australia's Darren Quee. Fourth going to either Adam Gilliard or Glenn Riddell. Nothing between them at the finish. Mightn't be too much between them after the race either. And next to come through should be competitor number 77, which was Mark Davidson. Nice to see our corner workers giving them a hand as they come around. The 28 coming through of Jason Stockman, the 96 of Shane O'Donoghue. Disappointing for Andrew Carrick for Pro Karting for the Geelong Karting Club of Victoria. Just couldn't quite get it all together. But everybody's very excited about things. Congratulations go out to David Anderson. They're a pretty honest family. I know I've been up in the commentary box, John, on many occasions, and sitting right next to me doing the lap scoring is David's mum, Dot, and she often gets all excited and gives me dead arms and what have you. But she'd be ecstatic about this. The whole family would be wrapped, and rightfully so. Great to see the South Australians coming good. And once all the measurements and everything has been checked, I think it should be all clear, and we look forward to the presentations about 8 o'clock tonight.
Forward to them too, John, and it's been a fantastic weekend, and we've only got one more race, a top race to go for the big fat guys out there, the Clubman Super Heavies, and they know that when they come in they'll be trim, taut and terrific after 22 laps out there, mate. It's going to be a good one. I hope that they can get started pretty reasonably well now, and because it's getting late and everybody wants to be able to unwind, relax, and wait for the presentations and thoroughly enjoy and give all the allocates to the people who are now currently national champions. It's been a pretty great meeting at the moment, and get the carts coming back. Looks like Matt Thompson coming back in again.